This. This is the moment where I'm juggling a combination of feelings. A combination that consists of anxiety, doubt, excitement, but ultimately confidence. This moment is the storm before the quiet.
You ever notice how the word gardens is usually associated with the names of project buildings and apartment complexes, but rarely is the grass greener on the other side? Only lit to form these accumulus clouds hovering next to flickering bodega lights. Now that usually means a new idea is attempting to be born, but you're probably gonna come up short if you are attempting to transform your thoughts into pennies. In other words, where I'm from, poverty's not a fad. And hanging tongues from sneakers aren't acquired from following in the footsteps of trendsetters. See, Mom wore the pants around these parts, and no matter how many times we visited coin-operated laundromats, our collars were never quite white. So I guess it's true what they say, that clothes do make the man. Hence the reason why these J's on my feet are worth more than any letters you'll discover on my report card. Now, some may view that as being an Achilles heel. I see it as being a step up for being stomped in the yard or serving another helping of the baker's dozen. Still not enough dough to get the new addition, so these tears prove I can't stand the rain. But N.E. heartbreak can be mended with true religion conversion, especially after we finally understand how prophets work. See, I'm still healing. Scratch that. Still reeling from initial rejection of round-the-way girls who cliques of child-supported heels was supposed to take them somewhere over the rainbow where they can view syndicated episodes of Living Color before falling prey to cults of personality, leaving nothing behind but Grey's Anatomies. You see, name recognition and pride is tied together like a Windsor, and I'm not trying to create a noose, just an afternoon of me and the homies hanging. But we peep what you're trying to do. Create these so-called bridges over poverty into the sunken place where Dookie rope chain of fools keeps afloat, link popping tags on that trail of tears wasn't supposed to be native to those Americans making reservations at the Section 8, but never enough for just the 10 of us, spoon-feeding political rhetoric, but what do I bring to the table? My worth was never measured in your livestock. To survive in this animal farm, you have to have the meanest of struts and the latest of trends and hope for the impeachments of presidents so finally somebody can represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent me. You better not have a bootlegged gait if you want to keep up with the movers and shakers. Make sure your strides are authentic before you capture a new balance. Because in these kicks, I no longer wish I was a little bit taller. I'm standing on top of the skeletons of ridiculers, those who wanted to leave scuffs after scuffles, tearing down the poster child of stick-up kids who wish they could possess these souls. Because if you took a step in my old pair, you'd notice the calluses I've suffered from climbing up the tradition of ancestors and whisper in the earlobes of my classmates, but unfortunately they weren't trying to hear that. I'm sick and tired of breaking ankles and crossing over just to reach the circumference of the in crowd. So if popularity is the desperate cousin of acceptance, you tell old girl to save me the last dance on prom night. I don't have anything else. In other words, feet, don't fail me now. To anyone who has ever felt like they've never been seen, This is the story of Jessup Charles, 1920s African-American rail worker. They say that you can tell how free a man is by the length of his chains. Well, you can understand why I seek a new leash on life. Neck of the woods spasms when attempting to see the forest for the trees, but not once has anyone ever offered me an olive branch. Just a ticket to ride to accompany them on that great escape from that which we call life. That's the very reason why I caress coals in order to make amends with her best friends. And waiting for the ease to drop so I can get the perfect hearing, so my soul can stop being judged. But in the meantime, this uniform will perform daily exorcisms of diseased self-esteem while carrying ghost loads of callous victims of circumstance. I'm not invisible. You would think a man of my stature would have learned how to keep his balance on eggshells, but I remain unevenly yoked with the have-not. I acquired this tunnel vision. Who knows what highway to perdition I be hitchhiking on, because my aspiration has already suffered from 4 flats. But that still don't stop me from time to time fantasizing that it's my suit in one of those spiffy cases. Can you imagine me as somebody, Mr. Charles, instead of dragging men out of their quarters as they dream about chasing dollars, and the only thing I ever wanted was a little bit of change? But who am I kidding? I got enough emotional baggage, especially since the only woman I ever loved got her one-way ticket to heaven only knows what hell neglects to tell it. Every day, I have to push pride to the back of my cheek in order to make way for the saliva to spit on the leather of shoes that conveniently walks around my shadow to find its proper footing on my back. Underneath my nails is heart and remains of yesterday that continue to feed on tomorrow's blisters, weaving these tales that you can't knapsack and thoughts that you can't pillow. But it's hard to get a decent night's sleep anyway when you keep hearing that distant moaning of a train seems to sing a sad refrain into the night. I keep thinking that you're one stop from being reunited with me. They say that you actually got the proper boarding pass, but what if God's schedule was just off a little bit? What if blessings were randomly selected, detained, and questioned while misfortune cross-bucked its way in the sliding doors? Lord knows I ain't no Jesus, but I swear I walked on water in order to cover the tracks of my tears. Wet whistles with those who are familiarly estranged with derailing my train of thought. And yeah, you don't have to remind me. My hands don't cramp from doing God's work. I plucked too many snake eyes, buried too many bones in the midnight hour, and twisted that demon in the bottle. But a fallen angel will always beat an able-bodied devil. And I'll continue to write you even if gravity returns my letters to cinder. And that's why I never leave a stop without a book full of stamps.
Each of you is accomplished in your own right. What would you say led you to poetry? I'll start with you, DS.
Well, I appreciate you asking that question, Miss Celeste. Poetry has always been something that has been accessible to me. It has allowed me to be able to feel comfortable in my skin, to be able to gravitate towards other individuals who have the desire to express themselves. And probably the most important thing is that it has evolved me to comfortably evolve into the artist I am today.
I like that.